Triple H accidentally spoil Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania. Cody ignoring The Rock threatens WrestleMania 41 hype. Is Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton still on the cards for WrestleMania? After their SmackDown segment was deemed a wreck backstage, Big E on getting erased from WWE history, Carlito shares an update after announcing his funeral, Rhea Ripley almost quit WWE, Hulk Hogan told to grow up, Kevin Owens getting released after his surgery, John Cena's WWE schedule update ahead of WrestleMania 41. Let's dive right in. Cody ignoring The Rock threatens WrestleMania 41 hype. WWE's almost at the finish line for WrestleMania 41, with just 2 SmackDowns and 1 Raw left to crank up the heat for the 2-night showdown. These last shows are make or break. Every move's got to land just right to pull in the biggest crowd possible. Triple H's crew can't afford to mess this up, but there's some big traps they need to dodge. Here's what WWE absolutely shouldn't do. Number 1, don't spill Randy Orton's mystery foe on SmackDown. Last week on SmackDown, Nick Aldis dropped the bomb that Randy Orton's WrestleMania 41 clash with Kevin Owens was scrapped. KO's out with a neck injury needing surgery fast. Orton didn't take it well, snapping and dropping Aldis with an RKO. Words buzzing that WWE's cooking up a surprise opponent for the Viper. Names like Aleister Black, Rusev, or even Aldis himself are floating around. But here's the deal. Don't let that cat out of the bag on SmackDown. Keep it hush-hush and spring it on us at Mania, like they did with Seth Rollins' secret opponent in 2022 when Cody Rhodes strutted out. That shock factor's gold. Number 2, Cody needs to call out The Rock. Now The Rock's been off WWE TV since he teamed up with John Cena at Elimination Chamber 2025, turning Cena heel and ambushing Cody Rhodes. The final boss was the puppet master behind that twist, a huge piece of this whole story. But Cody? He's barely breathed The Rock's name. Last month on Raw, he didn't even hint at him, only tossing a quick jab during a London promo about Cena selling out to the People's Champ. Triple H's team hasn't explained how The Rock flipped Cena to the dark side, and that's a problem. This week on SmackDown, Cody's got to rip into the Great One with a promo that cuts deep. It's the only way to juice up the hype for his undisputed WWE title match. Leaving The Rock out is sucking the life out of it. Number 3, keep Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton off the mic. Last week's SmackDown promo between Charlotte Flair and women's champion Tiffany Stratton went off the rails. They ditched the script, hurling personal insults that hit way too hard. Word backstage is they're catching heat for it, and the beef's real, not just for show. Triple H needs to steer clear of putting them in another talk-off. With legit tension brewing, one wrong word could spark a full-on fight, derailing things right before WrestleMania 41. Keep them apart. Let their actions in the ring do the talking instead. Is Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton still on the cards for WrestleMania 41 after their SmackDown segment was deemed a wreck backstage? Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton's SmackDown promo set the WWE Universe ablaze, but backstage, it's being called a total train wreck. Fightful Select spilled the dirt. Most folks backstage pinned the chaos on Flair, kicking things off script with her Nepo Queen dig at Stratton. It didn't ruffle too many feathers, but when she started mimicking Stratton's voice mid-segment, things got messy. People behind the scenes felt Stratton had to clap back, though her now infamous 0-3 shot at Flair's marriages, unplanned, went too far. Flair's, "Is that why Kaiser's in my DMs?" comeback, also off script. Even her turning to the crowd to play off their reaction wasn't in the plan, though that bit was shrugged off as harmless ad-libbing. Once the personal jabs started flying, producers scrambled to shut it down. WWE's digital crew got orders to scrub the relationship digs and voice mocking from YouTube clips, but the Raw version still lives on USA Network's broadcast. Backstage, the vibe was summed up in one word: wreck. Both women caught heat. Flair for lighting the fuse, Stratton for swinging too hard. One insider said there was confusion when Flair did the voice, then a collective, "Oh shit," as it spiraled. Still, no shouting matches erupted after. They just all agreed it went overboard. Ludwig Kaiser even took his surprise shout-out in stride, earning some laughs over on Raw. This was supposed to build their WrestleMania 41 showdown, but it turned into a backstage mess WWE's now wrestling back into shape. On a recent live Q&A with Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, WrestleVotes tackled the big question: is Flair versus Stratton still happening at Mania after this? I don't know their personal issues. It's clear that they are there. Something is existing between them that is causing this. Don't know what it is, but they certainly went off script on Friday night. I was getting messages immediately on how the people backstage, especially in the gorilla position, were shocked at what was going on. They added the match is still a go. I hope they can clean it up for WrestleMania. The match is still going to happen. It's still scheduled. They haven't edited any of that. So it's gonna go down as advertised, and I hope it works out for both of them. So, despite the SmackDown slip-up, WWE's sticking to the plan. Flair and Stratton are still colliding at WrestleMania 41. The real-life tension's there, but Triple H's crew hasn't pulled the plug. Posts on X are split. Some want the heat to fuel the match, others think it's too hot to handle. Either way, it's locked in, and now it's on them to turn this wreck into a win. Big E on getting erased from WWE history. Big E's not staying quiet about being scrubbed from one of WWE's biggest moments. The former New Day powerhouse called out Kofi Kingston for cropping him out of a WrestleMania 35 photo. The epic Kofi Mania night when Kingston beat Bryan Danielson for his first WWE championship. That win was a tearjerker, with Big E and Xavier Woods right there celebrating alongside him. But now, with the New Day cutting ties with the 39-year-old, Kingston posted a version of that iconic shot on social media with Big E erased. On the latest Raw Recap podcast, Big E didn't hide his frustration, saying there's no New Day without him and slamming the group for losing steam since he left. Meanwhile, a guest spot on Raw stirred up its own mess. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe joined Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on commentary during the War Raiders title defense against the New Day. Ahead of hosting the Roast of WrestleMania on April 20th, Hinchcliffe dropped a line that didn't land. The only thing stiffer than Michael Cole was Big E's neck. Fans weren't laughing. Some hated it. And Fightful Select says WWE insiders called it a dud backstage. Still, they noted Hinchcliffe was very respectful while there, even if the delivery flopped. Big E tackled that jab on Raw Recap too, shrugging it off. He didn't know the line was coming, but said it didn't sting. Look, I know it's been their duty to try to erase me from their history, and that again is their God-given right to do as they choose. But people know I was there. There is no New Day without me. Honestly, if we look at the trajectory of the New Day since I've been gone, let's count the number of titles, it's been a little lacking. Let's count the number of main events, also been a little lacking. Let's look at what has happened since my departure. It has not been, we talk about all the titles won, greatest tag team of all time, all these things, all these accolades. Last month, in a Sportskeeda exclusive, Big E opened up about his neck injury from May 2022 that's kept him out of the ring. He's pain-free now, no headaches, no surgery needed, and grateful for it. While he's not ruling out a comeback, staying healthy at 39 is his main focus. I have no headaches, no atrophy, I didn't have surgery. More than anything, I am so grateful to God, to karma, the universe, the creator, whatever magic it is that puts us on earth. I'm happy to have a healthy and normal life. The door is not officially closed on anything. I'm 39 years old right now. I also came into wrestling with a myriad of injuries, so now I'm thinking more about whether I want to have a healthy life. 50 is not that far off for me. It's 11 years down the road. Big E's clearly still got fire, even if WWE's trying to rewrite his legacy. The New Day might be moving on, but he's making sure his mark, and his truth, sticks around. Carlito shares an update after announcing his funeral. Carlito's keeping the laughs coming after a rough night on Raw. The Judgment Day star took a monster spear from Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker that left him flattened, and he hasn't let up on the comedy since. After tweeting that his funeral's set for Friday, thanking fans for their thoughts and prayers with a sarcastic twist, he's back at it. This time he hit Instagram stories with a fan-edited gem, a pic of him chilling in a coffin, clutching a bitten apple, playing up the drama like only he can. The 46-year-old Puerto Rican vet officially linked up with the Judgment Day in August 2024, and he's been a riot ever since. His buddy Raquel Rodriguez, who joined the faction 2 months later and now holds the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, can't get enough of him. In a recent sit-down with Chris Van Vliet, she gushed about Carlito, calling him a blast to work with and a total legend from her early wrestling days. I can't believe we get to work with Carlito. Like, what an amazing person he is. I would never tell him that to his face, but so amazing. I love him. He's so funny. He's so creative. He's so talented. I'm in awe. I used to watch him back in the day too. And even when I was starting out wrestling in Texas, I went to a show in Galveston with my dad, and he was there. He was a part of it, she said. From getting speared into next week to cracking up the WWE universe with his coffin cameo, Carlito's proving he's still got that Caribbean bad apple charm, whether he's in the ring or 6 feet under. Posts on X are loving the bit, and with WrestleMania 41 around the corner, he's keeping the buzz alive. Rhea Ripley almost quit WWE. Rhea Ripley's a massive name in WWE today, but she came razor close to ditching it all years back. Before she was the Eradicator tearing up the ring, she was grinding on Australia's indie scene. In 2017, she signed with WWE for the first ever Mae Young Classic, but it wasn't smooth sailing. On a fresh episode of Stephanie's Places with Stephanie McMahon, Ripley got real about those early struggles. She admitted she almost bailed, overwhelmed by self-doubt and ready to pack it in for home. The first Mae Young Classic, I cried before my match. I was terrified. I just felt like I wasn't doing things to the best of my abilities, and it made people start to doubt me again, continuously getting the criticism and little comments here and there. I felt like I started doubting myself. I wanted to go back to Australia. I wanted to throw my dream away, she said. In that same chat, Ripley spilled how she first got hooked on WWE. It all started with some family friends' kids who were into it. They handed her a tape of Triple H taking on Ric Flair in a last man standing match at Survivor Series 2005. One moment stuck with her: Triple H jamming a screwdriver into Flair's head. Little Rhea thought it was the coolest thing ever. So we had these really good family friends, and the kids started watching wrestling, WWE, and they recorded an episode and they gave it to me. And it was, well, your husband Triple H. He shoved the screwdriver in Ric Flair's head at Survivor Series 2005. I remember watching it as a kid and I was like, sure, that's cool. I was like, I like that, she said. From nearly quitting to headlining WrestleMania 41 against Sky and Bianca Belair for the Women's World title, Ripley's come a long way. That tape sparked something fierce, and the WWE Universe is glad she stuck it out. Hulk Hogan told to grow up. Hulk Hogan's been in the hot seat since his ex-wife Linda dropped a tearful video back in March, spilling the beans on their broken family ties. Linda, who was hitched to Hogan from 1983 to 2009, called the wrestling icon a complete liar and said they've got no connection with their daughter Brooke anymore. Brooke fired back, claiming both parents abused her growing up, and Linda threatened to sue. Former WCW writer Vince Russo, who's tangled with Hogan before, didn't hold back on the Wrestling Outlaws with Dr. Chris Featherstone and EC3. He ripped into Hogan for posting a clip of himself munching popcorn with his current wife Sky, acting like it's all a joke. Bro, Hogan's gotta grow the F up. Chris, I don't know about you, but when I'm watching that Linda Hogan video, there's a couple of things running through my mind. Number one, my own wife, like, oh my god, I don't care how much you hate her. Can you imagine driving someone that you were married to? And who is the mother of your children, driving them to this? Russo didn't stop there. He's genuinely worried about Linda after seeing her hit rock bottom on camera. Number two, Chris, what's running through my head is, man, I hope she doesn't do anything stupid because that was obviously rock freaking bottom. And I'm like, please. So, this guy then cuts a video of him and his sixth wife eating popcorn and he's doing the bright eye. Bro, seriously, look at the bad PR this guy has had. Chris, can you imagine if he puts that video out there and God forbid Linda Hogan does take her own life? Could you imagine what that would do to him? Bro, this guy has never learned his lesson. Hogan's a legend to many, one of WWE's all-time greats, but at 71, he's a lightning rod these days. His loud political takes and that 2015 racist audio scandal have split the crowd. Russo, who butted heads with him in WCW, says Hogan's ego's still running the show, unchanged after all these years. He is such an egomaniac, bro, that he cannot lay low no matter what the situation is, and that's all I was thinking of, Russo continued. Bro, you're putting this video out. Could you imagine if tomorrow they found her in her house freaking dead? And now that video that you put out is all over the internet? Bro, you think you were done with all the other things you've done? Bro, you are finished. This guy, bro, no matter how many mistakes he's made, he doesn't freaking learn anything, bro. It's unbelievable to me, man. The WWE Universe is watching this drama unfold, and with WrestleMania 41 on the horizon, Hogan's popcorn stunt isn't winning him any fans backstage or online. Russo's call is loud and clear. Time for the Hulkster to grow up, or risk crashing harder than ever. Kevin Owens getting released after his surgery. Kevin Owens dropped a gut punch on last week's SmackDown, announcing he's out of WrestleMania 41 thanks to a serious neck injury that's sending him under the knife. The prize fighter was set to throw down with Randy Orton in Vegas later this month, but on the April 4th, 2025 episode, he laid it out raw. His neck's been a mess for 4 months, and surgery's the only fix. Now, the wrestling world's buzzing, not just about his recovery, but whether WWE might cut him loose post-op. Wrestling vet Dutch Mantel weighed in on his story time with Dutch Mantel podcast, floating a wild theory. He's pretty sure Owens' injury is legit, but he couldn't resist playing devil's advocate. What if KO's faking it to dodge Orton? Picture this. Owens skips the match, then blindsides the Viper at Mania with a mop handle, proving it was all a ruse. Mantel chuckled at the idea. Well, I'm sure this is a shoot, but I was thinking, what if it wasn't a shoot? What if he just said, I got to have surgery right away, just to get out of the match? And all of a sudden at the end of it, Kevin Owens comes in that ring and beats the living with a mop handle since he's hurt already, beats the hell out of Orton with a stick in his hand. So he was lying, he said. He backtracked quick, though, admitting it's probably real. But I think it's a shoot because I've never seen that done before. But again, I think WWE is thinking out of the box. I think this would still be the wrong thing to do, and I think he does need neck surgery. Then there's Carl Anderson, ex-Raw Tag Champ, stirring the pot on Talkin' Shop. He and Luke Gallows got the axe from WWE in February 2025, right after Anderson was banged up. He's got a bad taste from that, and he's hoping Owens doesn't get the same treatment, released just months after a big surgery. If Kevin is really hurt, which I'm not saying he is or isn't, I don't have any idea. I haven't followed. I'm barely involved. I'm just gonna say this. I hope if he's really hurt and he has surgery, I hope he is not released 2.5 months after the major surgery. That's all I'm gonna say, Anderson said. Owens' injury's no joke. Word is he's facing neck fusion surgery, which could bench him for 6 months to a year. Posts on X are split. Some fans are wishing him well, others are paranoid. WWE might dump him like they did Anderson. For now, it's all speculation. No sign Triple H and Cody are planning to cut ties. The focus is on KO getting fixed up, but Anderson's warnings got people side-eyeing WWE's next move. John Cena's WWE schedule update ahead of WrestleMania 41. John Cena's road to WrestleMania 41 just got a major boost. With only a week plus until he squares off with Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship, WWE's dropped a bombshell. Cena's now locked in for the go-home SmackDown on April 18th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Check WWE.com's event page. He's front and center in the ads, a last-minute addition that's got fans buzzing. Before this, his status for the show was up in the air. Cody Rhodes, his Mania foe, is also slated for that SmackDown, making it the only confirmed showdown between the two before the big night, at least as of now, April 9th. 2025. Cena's been busy, fresh off a 3-week Raw stint on WWE's European tour, facing off with Rhodes in Brussels, Glasgow, and London. That last one, Cody laid him out with a crossroads, setting the stage for their Vegas clash. The WWE Universe is on edge, and we'll keep you posted if Cena's schedule shifts again, before or after he steps into Allegiant Stadium on April 19th to 20th to chase that 17th world title. Triple H accidentally spoil Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania 41. Cody Rhodes is ready to put his undisputed WWE Championship on the line against a newly healed John Cena at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, and the hype's through the roof. This clash is already pegged as a potential classic, but a slip-up from Triple H might have just teased a jaw-dropping twist. On the latest Raw, WWE confirmed Roman Reigns will show up next week, and a promo package dropped a curious hint. Reigns is set for his 11th Mania main event this year. Thing is, his Night 1 triple threat with CM Punk and Seth Rollins is billed as his 10th. So what's the 11th? Fans are buzzing that The Rock could flex his muscle and wedge Reigns into the Rhodes-Cena match, turning it into a triple threat. Reigns has a legit claim. He never got his rematch after losing the undisputed title to Rhodes at WrestleMania 40, and SmackDown GM Nick Aldis once promised him one. Picture this. Reigns wins Night 1, maybe with Paul Heyman screwing over Punk, then cashes in that rematch clause to crash the Night 2 main event. It'd be a wild swerve, one of the biggest curveballs Mania's ever seen, though it's a long shot given the current booking. Triple H, WWE's CCO and soon-to-be 2-time Hall of Famer, might have fueled the fire during his Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon spot, a pre-Mania tradition. Chatting with Fallon, he let slip that he and The Rock are still tight, working behind the scenes to elevate WWE. What's really cool about it is all these years later, that was like 96. All these years later, he and I are still collaborating on things and working together behind the scenes to make WWE as great as it can be, Triple H said. That Rock connection's got fans thinking, could the final boss pull strings to get Reigns in the mix? Posts on X are lighting up with speculation, but it's still a theory, not a lock. For now, Rhodes versus Cena's the marquee fight, and any Reigns twist would just be the cherry on top of an already stacked WrestleMania 41.